Hey, what is up guys? So we got some crazy combo with Qliphoths now. Basically someone has actually figured out how to get rid of the negative or the downsides that Qliphoths would normally have, which is the fact that you can't special summon any monsters except for Qliphoth monsters. And at the moment there's no XYZs for the deck, so basically you're stuck with the bunch of monsters that you're just basically spamming out. So let me go ahead and explain what this guy has actually done to make this super consistent. Summoners Art basically makes the deck super consistent, and it basically allows you to complete your pendulum scale. Now originally the problem that this deck had was that you would throw out a bunch of monsters, but the monsters wouldn't do anything. Basically they were beaters. If you did tribute summon using one of them, yeah, you would get some effects, but basically they didn't do anything. Once they were out on board, you couldn't XYZ or anything like that. So when you have the intermate Trampolynx over here, it has the effect when you pendulum summon a monster or monsters, you can target one card in a pendulum zone and return that target to the hand. You can only use this effect once per turn, and he also has the monster effect that when this card is normal summon, you can target one card in pendulum zone and return that target to the hand. So he's going to be able to bounce back the Qliphoth tool. So not only will it not be on board so your opponent can get rid of it, because you want this card. Basically, you open up this card, you've got your pendulum level of basically 2 to 8, unless of course you're playing the cat, and then it's 5 to 8, which doesn't really matter because the Qliphoths all fall under that category anyways. So he's able to basically bounce this back, then he can make whatever the heck he wants to make. Now he's going to go ahead and just go spam the board, he's going to return that target to his hand, and then he's going to go ahead and attack. Now, he lost his field, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to be able to not only get the free search off again once off of Qliphoth Tool, because Qliphoth Tool is just, it's crazy. It's a normal monster that basically has an effect anyways, and he's just going to be able to go ahead and pendulum summon all over again. And now, one thing to keep in mind, if you XYZ with the Qliphoths, now, like I said guys, he's able to get rid of this card effect where you can't special summon any monster except for the Qliphoth monsters. There's also another pendulum scale of 9, the other genome over here, where you cannot special summon any monsters except for Qliphoth monsters. That was basically supposed to be the downside to this deck, is you couldn't make anything after. You go for your play and then that was pretty much it. But now he's basically gotten around that mechanic and he's able to go ahead and just special summon whatever he wants. Now what's really cool with this is the genome over here also has the effect that you can't special summon monsters that's in the pendulum scale of 9, but this one also has another effect that monsters your opponent controls lose 300 attack. Now, when you go ahead and special summon the Qliphoths, they change their levels to level 4, so that allows you to make number 103 Ragnazero. If you guys don't know what the heck this card does, it's once per turn during either player's turn you attach one material to target one face-up attack person monster your opponent controls whose current attack is different from its original attack, destroy it, and if you do, draw one card. So, he's going to be able to go ahead and make double Ragnazero, so basically his opponent isn't going to be able to make anything in an attack position that's going to be able to actually get rid of it. So whatever his opponent basically makes that's going to be in attack position, he can automatically just destroy it with Ragnazero. Now he can no longer special summon any monster except for Qliphoth monsters, but that doesn't really matter because he can always bounce back it with the Trampoline Cat. So that's really good for him. Now the other guy's playing the Cosmic Dragons, and that's basically a deck that floats and it eventually makes synchros. But the thing is, what is he going to bring out? Because anything that he brings out, it's not going to be too good. But one downside with going for the XYZ combo is you're not going to be able to get these cards back in the face-up extra deck zone, which is basically how the pendulum mechanic goes. So they will be going to the graveyard, which doesn't really matter too much because you get so many free searchers off of Qliphoth Tool, and eventually you just don't need stuff anyways. But he can go ahead and activate that card in response to Debris Dragon, and then therefore, because you know he needs his normal summon. So basically, whenever your opponent normal summons something, you can get rid of it immediately. The guy ends up quitting, and I don't blame him for that because at that point, that's a really nasty combo. Basically, he's gotten around what Qliphoths suffered from, or the downside, and there's that new Qliphoth card that is absolutely crazy, and I think Qliphoth's looking pretty good next format, guys. I think it's even better than Shaddolls, and you guys know how much I've been talking about Shaddolls. This is just crazy. I mean, you'll be able to throw out so many things. If you guys are wondering, Asian Eyes, how does Qliphoth beat Shaddolls? Well, the thing is, you only really need to summon once in Shaddolls, Qliphoths anyways for a special summon, because you can just special summon all your stuff. So you're only special summoning once, but it's just like 5 monsters at once, and then you can go ahead and tribute a Qliphoth monster, and they have different monsters effects depending on which Qliphoths that you're tributing for. So they're actually pretty good against that, and they have that one card where it basically shuts down most decks anyways, where it's basically has 3,800 attack and it's not affected by spell or traps or monsters that have a lower rank or level than it. If you haven't seen that card, check it out in the link just in the description box below. But man, this is so crazy. Thanks a lot for showing off this deck with us, because I think this is so cool, because you're able to basically get around around what the deck suffered from, which is that you couldn't XYZ, because at the moment we have no Qliphoth XYZs. But anyways, guys, I would say be on the lookout for this deck. I think this deck definitely has a lot of potential just because it's so consistent, because you have triple Summoner's Art, which allows you to add Qliphoth Tool, which lets you add, you know, your other scales or your other Qliphoth cards, because there's going to be more Qliphoth support coming out. There's going to be spell and traps, because it's any Qliphoth card. Remember that. It doesn't have to be a Qliphoth monster. But anyways, this deck looking off the chain. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know how will you guys deal with this, because I think this is going to be a huge threat into the metagame. But thanks for watching. Wait, actually, you know, Ophion might be a threat. I don't know, but, you know, Breakthrough Skill is pretty, you know, relevant card, I would say. And you just need one summon, and then that Evil Storm player usually can't come back from that if they're top decking. It's not looking too good for them. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes out.